Welcome back to Unfiltered Bowl Sessions. We're on episode 9. This is part 2 from our beauty industry episode.
Yes.
Yes, so we're on part 2. So now, this episode's basically going to be us just kind of going over our experience with clients. Like, clients we had a fire or break up with, and how we handled it, certain situations that we've gone through. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this or have their own story for clientels like this. Behind the Chair posted something about someone saying they've been doing hair for 8 years and still no clientele, should I quit? So now, these were probably my 2 favorite responses because it just spoke, because this is literally how I feel with the industry. So skills are important, but what I've seen in 20 years in the industry is personality is just as important. I've seen mediocre stylists with huge clientele because of how they interact with their clients. So that's like one. And then the other one is pretty similar, but it's just try connecting with your clients. Some clients value connections. Even if you're just an okay hairstylist, they're more likely to stick with you because they feel
comfortable.
That they're genuinely cared for. So that is like huge, I think, for
keeping clients
and doing that. So that's like a big thing for me. And why we have clients. Now, with having a ton of clients, I feel like you also have experience with some bad clients. There are some clients, I think, that maybe take advantage of somebody who, like us, that are very, I don't know, we're very understanding for the most part. I think Daisy's probably a little more strict and like on top of her scheduling, and I think that is something am kind of leaning towards and becoming, because I feel like that's why some people
do the shift.
You know? Because I think some people have gotten so comfortable with me being okay with like scheduling that they kind of almost do it too often, and so that then causes the breakup, or like to where they're just kind of like, really, like, what the. Like,
and they're like, well, you were okay with it before. Why are you not okay with it now?
Like, why is it bothering you now? I don't know, because it's been happening for 5 years. So, like,
literally.
You know? So, whereas with, like, Daisy, if it happens, like, the second time, she's, like, over it.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, I wait, like, years. Years of torture.
Yeah.
The years of disrespect.
Yeah.
Before I break it off.
Yeah.
This girl's, like...
The years of disrespect before she finally respects herself.
Finally, I know my worth.
Yeah.
And I finally, like, let it go. Yeah, so I guess that's the difference between her and I.
Yeah.
But we all have our own story. Do you want to, like, talk about your story first?
Yeah, so I have,
like, one that literally spoke out to you more.
I have 2, because it's not this one, the second one. So I just fired a client last week, I think. So she had.
I was gonna like.
I felt it.
I was like, I know you feel that tickle.
I didn't see it.
I know it's tickling the bottom of your lash right now, girl. I know it's tickling. I'm like, because I stare at you when you talk. Yeah. I'm like, I know she feels that. She can like.
Oh my god, I'm dead. So she had scheduled with me. So she comes recurring every 2 weeks, and she had scheduled. Let's say she had scheduled for like 2 appointments ago. She scheduled, and I texted her, and I was like, she was my first one, which. Coming into the rant that I had yesterday, you know, I was so annoyed because it's usually when it's my first one, I get more bothered because my mom,
it's like everybody going down, like, has to be moved now.
Yeah. So she had scheduled, and I had texted her. So my grace period is 10 minutes late. That's it. Boom, 10 minutes. I'm not taking you in. If you're outside parked in 10 minutes, not taking you in. You have to be in my bed at the 10-minute mark. I'm so fucking strict. Like I feel like I'm pretty punctual for the most part. Like, when I have my own services being done for me.
Yeah, it's rare you're ever, like, late.
Yeah, but, like, when it comes to my clients, I feel like I'm so used to my clients being so punctual that I just can't like literally if it's like 8 minutes, I'm like, ooh, my blood's boiling, you know, like
your palms
I'm like, you fucking know better. Yes.
Yeah.
And like if they give me a heads up ahead of time, totally fine. I'm not bothered. Because they took the time to let me know, hey girl, I'm going to be 8 minutes late. If they tell me, hey, I'm going to be 10 minutes late, is that okay? I'll take you in.
Like before they left the house, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes before. Because then you're like,
they take into consideration, yes, that I am waiting for them, that I have another client.
Because then that gives me time. Like rushing your client before her, trying to get her out to be on time. So like,
so if you guys, all my clients watching this are going to let me know. Like, don't let me know at the time of your appointment. Like, if your appointment's at 10, don't text me at 10. Hey girl, I'm like 8 minutes away. Excuse me, you could have told me that at literally 9:50. Like, it's all about timing and communication. Like, don't be that person. I hate that shit. So I had texted her. So once it hits 5 minutes, like let's say her appointment was at 8. Once it hits 8:05, I will text the person, no matter who it is. I'll be like, hey girl, about how far out are you? Just to let you know, after 10 minutes late, it's an automatic cancellation. I will always text that. If you're a client of mine, you know this. And then they'll respond back. They either respond back or they don't. So she didn't respond back at all. I think she did actually. She responded back like a minute later and she was like, oh my God. She was like, I'm so sorry. I dropped off the kids and I came straight home. She's like, I totally forgot. Whatever, I also take into consideration what their careers are, if they're nurses, if they work overnight, if they have long shifts, shit happens, and if you have kids, like literally, I totally understand. So I was like, okay, whatever, it's okay. If you want to reschedule, there will be a $50 cancellation. I mean, technically no show and, rescheduling fee, yeah. So she paid it, and this isn't the first time that she's paid it because it's happened before and she's never, like I said, my clients don't ever budge with me about that. But the second time, literally I rescheduled. So we looked into what would work for her and I rescheduled her to the next week. And then come that week, she, I think it was at 5 minutes. So I texted her and then she texted me back almost there. So I was like, okay, whatever. I had texted her, how far out are you? She just said almost there. She didn't give me an estimated time of arrival, like the exact time. Like usually my clients are like, oh, I'm 30 minutes away. Oh, my GPS says 2 or whatever. So then I asked her again, like I kept asking her questions about how far out she was and she just kept like skimming through the like time. She just ignored. She's like, my questions.
I'm like down the street. Okay, but down the street where?
Exactly.
I'm coming down Mooney. Okay.
Yeah, but
where?
Yeah, exactly. So it hits the 10 minutes and I told her, I was like, oh, sorry, because she had already texted me that she was on my street, but I'm like, my street isn't that long. So it doesn't take like 5 minutes to get on the street. So I texted her. I was like, okay. I was like, unfortunately, I cannot take you in. I was like, it's been 10 minutes. I was like, so I cannot service you anymore. I don't know what I said. Whatever. I did it in a professional way, and I just left it at that. And she said, oh, okay. Whatever. She messaged me later on and she said if she can reschedule. She's like, can I reschedule? If so, can I do this day and time, whatever, I have this coming up. I said, unfortunately, I cannot take you in as a client anymore after back-to-back times of bad scheduling, I think I said, or bad timing.
Or like no shows.
I was like, it takes a toll on my business and I can't service you anymore. I was like, I'll more than gladly send you people that you can go to get your lashes done, and you can go with them.
Don't send her to me.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, and do it. Yeah, and I said, maybe someone else will work for you, and that was that. She said, okay, thank you. The way you come off to a client too when you're doing this, like, because people, I've had people tell me like, oh, I'm scared, but I'm like, it's not that you should be scared. It's that you should know how you communicate and come off to the client. Because if you come off rude, they're gonna get offended. You know what I mean? If you come off professional and understanding, let them understand your point of view. They're gonna understand you. It's not, you guys can't leave off on good terms. As bad as you are, don't express that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that no matter what, because at the end of the day, that's your job and you need to come off professional. Yeah. And I also had another client that I had to fire. That one was kind of more, this one was very like smooth, whatever. Cool. I had another one that I had to fire because she would come in, this was a while ago, like a couple months ago. She would come off and on to me for like a couple years. And she would try to push out as far as she could, which is 3 weeks, but she would come in usually bald. I scheduled the time appropriate for the fill, okay? And so I would do her fill, and I kind of keep in mind how much time I have left and how much time I have to work on or to work on her.
Yeah.
So I would take that into consideration. So the first time I think she left, and she had told me that she texted me like an hour or so after. And keep in mind, I think she forgot to pay me a few times. Like I would have to reach back out to her like after the appointment.
Hey.
Yeah, like so whatever. She reached out to me after saying that she felt like when I was less full, whatever. Okay, you know, I have her come in. You know, she texted me a couple of hours after, so I had her come in like the next day, whatever. I accommodated her. Okay. The time after, again, she came in a little bit more bald, okay, and I had only time for a fill because that's what we had scheduled. I didn't charge her a full set, which I should have. I did what I could in the time that I had, and also I gave she forgot to pay me, I think, that time again. Oh, no, I think she prepaid me that time, so she wouldn't forget. She bought a lash back and she never paid me till this day. I mean, I don't care, but whatever. At that time she texted me again after, and she texted me a long paragraph explaining how, like, you know, we had agreed that we were going to do volume instead of mega volume because I have a lot of lashes. To my understanding, I'm paying for for a volume fill, whatever. Okay, she did her explanation. Okay, I explained back. I understand that. But I also do need you to understand that you came in needing more than what you scheduled for. You literally needed a full set. Like, you should have been charged a full set, and I should have put a full set amount of time, but I didn't have that time. I only charged you to fill.
Does she know a mega volume costs more than a volume? So technically, if anything, she owes you money.
Yeah.
If that's the case.
Yeah.
Like,
and I told her that. I was like, I should have been charging you for a full set, and I didn't. I was like, these past 2 times, that's what's been happening. And then I don't know what else I said, but at the end I was like, oh, I don't know how I ended it off, but I, you know, professional and everything, I ended it off as like, I'm sorry, maybe I'm not, I told her, I was like, I'm sorry, I may not be the right lash artist for you, you know, like, feel free to look for someone else, you know, there's many people out there, but like, maybe I'm not the right one for you, you know, to make them feel like it's not you, maybe it's me, you know, but like,
it's not you, it's me, like the breakups, it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, it's me, yeah. So, but it's
like,
all about communication. Yeah, but you know what? Those clients will have you so relieved because, you know, sometimes you just start like
hating work almost and like dreading them, and you don't ever want to feel that with clients. Like, I never want to be like, oh, I have so and so again, because you know what, some people and their energy really drain you, and it's okay to not vibe with someone. And I think it's our life, it's our space, we should be allowed to break up with people sometimes, just like clients are allowed to go and find somebody that they prefer to spend their money on. Us as lash artists as well should be okay with breaking up with people if they are not the vibe for us.
And I think we need to normalize that, because I feel like a lot of people are stuck with the clients that dread that, like,
and it's like we feel entitled, like, not we feel like almost obligated to do them because we don't want our business looking bad. So then we're just like, oh, I have to take her because if I don't, then she's gonna go around and tell people
in reality, think of it as like, okay, they're gonna go to someone else, right? They're gonna be like, oh, what happened? Oh, well, she fired me. Red flag, like, you know, obviously if they had to fire you, that says a lot, rather than, oh, you know, she just didn't work out for me. I just or
I didn't like
if she fired you, but I'm pretty sure the people that have been fired from other service providers are not saying that.
No, they won't say that. They'll just go and be like, oh, somebody else. Or if they did, I'd be like, okay, and then the service provider will understand later, like, that it wasn't maybe the lash artist, it was the client. Yeah. So I actually I have one similar to that. I remember doing a girl, and I swear to you, it was like,
lashes or hair?
Lashes.
Oh, okay.
These are all lash clients.
Okay.
With hair, I never really
had bad problems.
I've had issues, but not like.
It's kind of hard because it's hair.
Yeah, it's not anything like that. It's like hair is more complicated. But to me, I'm just like, I did have one that was like that, and I just know that she just kind of wanted her money, and I was just like, you don't have to argue with me. Like, if you're arguing with me for your money back, here. Like, because she sat in my chair complaining about every single person that did her service before me, and no one ever did anything right. So I already knew, like, should I even do anything to this girl? Like,
and the clients feel entitled. I feel like clients feel entitled because they're like, bitch, like, I'm paying you, you know?
I'm sure I was right. Yeah. It's just like, if you're trying to fight with me for your money back, just say that.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not about to sit here and argue with you
over
so you could sit here and gaslight me over what I did to you in the service. Like, hair is very unpredictable. So sometimes you can't give the client what they want.
There's a lot of science behind that.
Yeah. And I'm just like, she'll be like, my hair's crooked. And then it's like, yeah, bitch, fucking put your head straight.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me not even get into that bitch because that was like 9 years ago. But I was just like,
she lives on in your head.
7 years ago, actually. 7 years, 8 months. 2 days.
3 days.
Yeah, I know. I always say 3 days. Yeah. But yeah, no. So I have one similar to that where I had a breakup with her because I just felt like she was complaining about it all the time. But you know what she was complaining about? She's like, I had 2 lashes fall out. Can you feel it? Bitch, it's been 5 days. Something's gonna fall out, okay? And I was just like,
that's another thing. Clients will text me, but like, they'll text me like a week and a half after. Oh, hey girl, can you get me in? Like, because it'll be the clients that come in for 3 weeks. They'll text me at a week and a half. Hey, can you get me in for like a mini fill this week? I'm like,
that's a 2-week fill, boo. Yeah,
mini fills are like 5 to 7 days after.
Yeah, a week, like exactly a week.
Yeah,
and I'm like, do people not know like lash extensions are not permanent? They are gonna shed. You're gonna fall out. You're gonna have some that fall. I get it if you have a huge gap in the middle or something where it's like, okay, that's like not normal. But she would it would be so full and she'd have like 2 missing. She's like, it's like right here.
Oh, this story leads into this one. Bitch, do you want my money or not?
Oh, yeah. I'm like,
I'll say it after the story.
I'll say it after the story. Let's replay the video.
Yeah, literally.
Anyways. We'll talk about that. Okay. But yeah, no, so I was just like, after the 3rd time of seeing her that week, I was like,
oh my god.
It was within like a week and a half, like every single time. And I'm just like, just schedule a mini fill. But it wasn't. It was just like, it's like she would text me because she wanted it fixed. As if like I did something wrong. I'm like, you do realize like lashes fall out. Like it's not.
Yeah, and mini fills are a thing.
Yeah, it's not like the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it's gonna be normal that some fall out. Even the day after, like you're gonna have some that fall out that just don't attach, but you're full still, you know? And I just had to tell her, like, you know what? I don't think I'm the lash artist for you, but I was like, I know so-and-so would do really well on you because I know she does well with mega volumes. Like, and I think that's what you're looking for, and that's, like, not my specialty. At the time, it wasn't. Yeah. At the time, I wasn't really doing, like, that, you know? And so I was like, you know what? I think this girl will be good for you. And she just never responded, which I was like,
yeah, that girl didn't either.
I was like, that's fine. Like, I don't need... Watch, it's the same girl. I was like, was she a teacher?
No, she worked for like a company, I think.
Okay. Yeah, but yeah, no, this one, I was just like...
She was a teacher?
Yeah.
You think she'd have more patience?
Yeah.
And more understanding?
But no, she was just like, she didn't get it. And I was like, she just always wanted me to fix, like, every time one fell out. She's like, can you replace that one that fell?
Her students watching this, oh, I know, she's so strict.
Yeah. They probably want their kids. Yeah. But yeah. No, that was like one that reminded me of the one you did. And then recently, I just had a breakup with someone. And
wait, I'm gonna say this one real quick. No,
Talk about that one.
Okay, because so you know how she was saying how, you know, she had a client that like one would fall off and she'd come back in. Okay. You know, we have a lot of connections, you know? Shit gets around.
Like, we get, like, a lot of
she has friends that know that she's friends with me. I have friends that whatever. We, like... Regardless, shit gets around, okay?
All the lash girlies, we all
communicate,
somehow. And I was just like, if you're a client and you're watching this, FYI, if you talk about me to Daisy, Daisy's gonna tell me.
If you talk to her friends about me, it's gonna get to me.
Yeah.
If you're gonna talk about...
Anybody who knows me... I guarantee you they're going to tell me.
And other lash girls, you know, they...
Like, everyone always comes to me and tells me, like, so-and-so said this. I was like, I don't
you've heard freaking
know her. Yeah, I was like, I don't be knowing people. Like, she always tells me, do you know so-and-so? I'm like, who's that? I literally don't know people.
Remember that time when, like, there was stuff going around about one lash artist? And literally it was within the same week that I was hearing stuff and you were hearing stuff?
Oh, yes.
Literally within a week, like, both of us had heard something. Or heard a lot of things about the same person. I was like, what's going on?
I was like, what's going on with her?
Yeah, okay.
Is she okay?
So, her friend, which I know her too. I don't really talk to her, but you know, I follow her. You know, we just react to each other's stories. But she's a good friend of Mary's. Okay.
Yeah.
What was I saying? Okay, so I had a client. Okay, she was coming to me for a while, and she liked to talk a lot. Okay, keep in mind this client, a lot of service providers know of. Okay. And a lot of service providers
had a breakup with her.
Yes, they've had their experiences. She's someone that no one wants as a client, you know.
She's blacklisted, basically.
Yes, I don't know if she has.
Is that what you call it, like blacklisted, where they're like they're not allowed to go there anymore?
I don't know if she had ever gone to someone before me. Oh yeah, she came to you. No, she didn't come to you, right? What'd she come to you for?
I think she came to me once.
Okay, yeah. So she came in to get her lashes done. And off the bat, she was talking shit about everyone and anyone, and in particular, she was obsessed with Mary. She was talking to me like if they were a good friend and all this stuff, and I'd be like, oh my god, like. Oh, it kind of did come off obsessive, but I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, maybe they're besties, you know? I don't know, like, whatever.
But then you're like, why isn't she going to Mary?
Yeah. And then, and I said, so then I asked Mary about this client and if she knew her.
Yeah, I was like, literally, like, who? Like, who? I was like, she had to tell me, like, kind of explain and describe, like, who she was. And I was just like, I mean, I don't know her personally. I think I did her lashes, like, one time. And again, she didn't like him. I think she went and, like, on a rant to somebody else, another lash artist, and which we're going to get into that, too, and talked about how whatever I did to her lashes, she didn't like. So anyways, so that's kind of why she didn't take her as a client, because she was just like, listen to this. And that was the time you were on maternity leave. So she played it for me, and the way she was talking was just like, pero whatever. Like she was saying it like that. Like, oh, okay. And she's like, I don't know if I said that right. Like when they say that, she was like trying to talk shit, like basically. She was like trying to talk crap about it. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's weird. But anyways, going to her, you know, Daisy's asking me all these questions about her, and I'm just like, I don't know her like that. She's literally always like swiped up on stuff, and I'm very nice. Like if someone compliments my stuff, or if they're like responding to my story, I always reply back with something. Like I don't usually ignore people, especially like if it's like other women or whatever. Like guys, I can ignore them all day in my DMs. With girls, if we're like communicating or we're just like, oh my god, that's really pretty or whatever, I always reply back. I'm not like stuck up or anything like that. So I usually always reply back with like, thank you, whatever. And that's literally all it was. But when she talked to Daisy about me, she always wanted to talk as if like we communicated. She made it seem like
she was like,
we hung out
in that neighborhood where Mary lives. Like, oh yeah, like literally like so.
As if she's been here like
hella times.
Like she comes over and our kids play. Like I've never ever. No.
Yeah. Okay, so
which I thought that was like weird that she was like
at the time I told you everything that she told me, but now I can't really think of.
Yeah, you don't remember? No. Yeah, I remember everything.
Okay, so she would always want to get a touch up for no reason because she was always full, you know? And come to find out, Mary's good friend who does lashes knew that Mary and I were good friends, and she also knew that the client was coming to me. The client had the lash artist on Snapchat, and the client posted a story. The lash artist sent it to Mary, and Mary sent it to me. Okay, literally. Oh, so bad. Already.
What she was saying about it, she was just like,
no. She had texted me to come in, right? And she sent me a picture. No. She came in, and I told her, I was like, girl, like, you're full as fuck. Like, you don't, I literally, I kid you not, I promise you, I probably added, like, 12 fans. Like, not even that much. She was full, you know? Which, nothing to complain about, you know? Her retention was good. But still, like, why are you being over dramatic? Like, you don't need shit. You don't need to fail, you know? It was, like, a week after or whatever. Okay, whatever. Cut to she left, and she posted a story. And she said, so I went to go get my lashes done.
Yeah, she's telling the story.
She said, I went to go get my lashes done, and I sat down, and my girl was like,
girl, you don't need a fill.
Yeah.
And she's like, bitch, do you want my money or not? Like, wait. Like she has to post everything. Like, literally everything on her whatever. So,
bitch, I don't need your money. I don't need your fucking money. I don't. I don't need your money.
It's like, why come in? Like, why? I don't know. You were pretty accommodating. I'm surprised you took her for as long as you did, to be honest. Yeah, and it's funny because she's gone to other service providers and like somehow she's like come up. I had posted something about like people that talk shit in the industry, and I was specifically talking about service providers, and she's like, oh my god, are we talking about the same person? And I was like, maybe, I don't know. And then when she inboxed me, she's like, are you talking about so and so? And I was like, no, but I know exactly who that is, and girl, let me tell you, she is blacklisted from a couple of Lash girls I know. So yeah, I thought that was funny that she does a completely different service than we do. So that's what the crazy thing is like she does a completely different
her own story about that client.
Yes, like I guess she just always came in and just talked crap about everybody, and that to me, it's like it's too draining. Again, it comes with energy. Like it's okay for us to like. There are certain people we literally have to break up for, and not because it doesn't ever have to be like them being late and stuff like that, or them paying like there's clients that pay and they don't care what you charge, whatever. But sometimes energy is not worth it. Like if they're draining your soul, it's like not worth it. And she was definitely that person for them and like the girls
like to see me as just a fucking like bitch, like literally, like she's on there talking as if I'm her bitch. Literally.
Yeah, like bitch, you want my money or not?
Yeah, like
I don't know if she thought that was like funny, but at the same like
no, and little did she know I saw it, and I wanted to post it. I wanted to reach out to her actually and be like, hey, like you need to be careful with what you say online about service providers in general, because I came across this video. It was sent to me, and like I'm not gonna say who it was because I'm pretty sure she has hella people on her Snapchat because she's obviously talking to hella people.
Yeah. She has a fan base. So.
Yeah, but I didn't, and it's crazy because that she would always come off as she would always come off. Okay, I don't know if I should say this because it's kind of too in detail. I'll say it and then you can cut it off. Okay. She would always come off to me as a person with high
standards.
Yes.
Very high class.
Living I don't know, whatever. Okay? So she would always come off as that way. I didn't say anything about it, but I felt like, okay, whatever. Okay. Cut to another service provider that does a whole different service than what she knew and then whatever. She ends up telling me about her, saying that she took her in as a client, and same thing, same experience, talking shit about everyone. And
then always talked about me too.
Yes, and always talked about her.
The conversation
till this day. Because this was what, like a month or two ago?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, till this day, okay? Yeah. And I
have not had a conversation with her for like
and the last time I saw her was when I was on maternity leave, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Till this day, she still talks with Mary. Anyways, the service provider had told me that she had sold her something, okay? When I go pick it up, this is where it starts the story. Okay. She had sold her something, okay? And when I go drop it off, and it turns out she was living in like an apartment. And her son came out to pick up the item that was sold to her. Yeah. And she didn't come out. And the service provider was like, I think she like was embarrassed to come out because she would always come off to me like, oh, like I'm living like in a really like nice house, like big, whatever, like she lied. And I think the client didn't realize like, oh fuck, like she's gonna come and see that I'm literally like in an apartment, which no shame, no nothing, but if you're coming off to someone like living in a specific way, there's like, nothing wrong with living in an apartment, but if you're coming off to people like, oh, I live like in an apartment,
I do this, I do that, I could spend this, because she talks about money a lot.
Oh,
and she likes to talk about like that. I noticed that when I used to follow her, but I just recently found out she was like trying to say some shady stuff with her and her little hairdresser, and I removed them both off of my stuff. So like for me, I'm just like, I don't like that. So like I just stopped communicating, I stopped responding to stuff, and I remove them off my social media because it's like, don't follow me if you don't really like me like that, but you want to act like a fan or whatever. Like do you, but like I don't like people fake. Like if you don't like me, don't even talk to me. I think it's just weird when people like pretend they like you and they come around and act like whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know, she probably doesn't like you, but she's obsessed with you.
Yeah, it's like a weird thing. I don't know. Or I don't know if it was just like whoever she was talking to about me, it made her want to say certain things. It's just like, that's why I say you kind of have to be careful with who you tell stuff to, because it always comes back to me and I always find out, and I'm very quick to like just remove people.
Yeah, it's crazy how much shit you found out.
Yeah. And it's like I have no problem removing people if I've heard anything bad, because like I don't go around talking malicious about anybody like that for no reason. Unless they do it to me, then it's like I'm gonna take it to the grave.
But even when you've gotten done really dirty, I mean, it's not like you went around and said anything.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. Still, I didn't. I'm just like, well, your life is miserable anyway, so I don't really have to do much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me living life.
Talk about that in
yeah. I was like me living my life, and just like it bothers people anyway, so like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna be bothered by me one way or another, so that's like
maybe she wishes she could be you,
She can if she wanted to. People don't want to work that hard.
True. So, you're right.
Yeah, people don't want to work. People have like internal issues they have to work on.
Yeah, true.
It's like if you don't love yourself, you can't be around me, because I think that's where the hate comes from. Is like I don't think people really like when someone loves themselves. Like people are all about self-love, but when someone actually really loves themselves, it makes them uncomfortable. Like I think it's like, how do you not love yourself? Like other people's achievements.
You're not happy with your life. You're not happy with yourself. You're not happy with anything.
So that's why they sit around and talk. They want to pick at every bad thing in someone's life because they're not happy. And I've learned that.
Everyone.
Anyone who tries to like shade you or do the little backhanded comments or like, that's already a red flag for me, to where I know it's like, okay, like I see where you're at.
See, and
I don't say anything, but I just like know where to place them.
Yes, with those clients, you have to be careful with how you respond. With that client, literally, our conversation, she would just be talking shit, and I would just be like, oh yeah, really?
Because what they'll do is turn that around and then like
flip it,
have something on you to where you could like say certain things. I think that's the scary part too with clientele. It's like, well, she said this and this. Oh my God, she does this. Oh my God, the amount of stories I've heard about myself
remember what got flipped around about me and Daisy. I mean, you can do that in there. I don't care, but
how people try to pin you guys against each other. Yeah,
and it got me. I felt like, I mean, I fell as a fool. Because
you trusted that person that told you, because you knew them longer than you knew her. So maybe that's why you like automatically like went off without really like asking, maybe. Yeah, and
I apologize and everything. I came clean to it, but
that was like, I think I was in the middle of that, and I was like trying not to like. I think that was when I had both kind of talked to both of you, or got real close to both of you guys. So I was like,
yeah, but that's another example of like getting shit turned around. People that are watching this are probably like, oh my God, we like.
Is it me?
No, they're like that. Don't know this side of like us and like our. No, not even about the beauty, like what's been going on with us. Well, I guess like.
Okay. I'm all trying to like answer you, and you're like, no, bitch, that's not what I'm trying to say. Nope, not that either. Yeah. I was like, let me just let you finish, so I know what the heck.
Yeah, but I mean, all this shit goes on. It's just we go. We don't talk.
Yeah.
We talk within ourselves, but.
I know. Yeah. That's it. We don't really bring drama to like the internet. It's and that too, like even if we're going through all the issues we go through within our business or like our life, you don't put it online. Except that one time when I did go through a thing with a service provider, and I was like,
service provider?
Yeah, that talks shit.
Your friend?
Yeah, but she's a service provider now.
But at the time she was your friend.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
No, but it's worse.
Yeah, but anyways, as a service provider, I had to put that out there, like, if you want to be successful, it's probably best not to talk about other service providers and, like, not talk crap about people, because if you're going to one person, talking crap about another person you just finished, it's probably not good for business. That's another tip.
And if you're a service provider, the last thing that you should do is talk shit about the people that you're servicing.
Yes, that is not comfortable for a client at all.
No, obviously you're not telling the client, you're telling other people, and it's getting back to the client.
Yeah.
Like if you are doing someone's lashes or you're doing someone's facial, you can't sit there and tell someone else, oh my god, she had so bad, like she had such bad skin, like she had pimples everywhere. Like, you know, they're coming to you because they feel comfortable, and they want you to make them feel pretty. Exactly. But yet you're over here judging them behind their backs and talking shit. That makes me feel so bad. Like when I heard all that stuff.
Yes. Especially if there's somebody that sees your body. If it's someone that you have to get like naked for, or like whatever, like, you know, it's important to like, maybe I don't want to hear that, like, because
that got me really
just because like you're complimenting me doesn't make me believe it, because I feel like you probably told them that when you were spraying them. Or,
it's the same with Brazilians.
Yes. Like
Candy and Brazilians is the same thing.
Anything that involves
that is very private, you know? Like it's literally your private area.
And I felt bad.
With Tanny too, you're like,
I felt bad because there was some that I was like, that were so scared to go because they didn't feel comfortable at all, and I was just like, no, like, you're gonna be fine, she's not like that, don't worry. And they trusted me, and then for that person to turn around and talk about her body to me, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't have sent her to her, you know, like I almost felt bad and guilty, like why did I do that, you know? But it is what it is. But that was like the only time I ever put it out in public, but they needed to know. Like, I think it's important to like maybe shut the fuck up sometimes and not judge people or like talk about them, because that's like a big thing. You wouldn't like it if someone did that to you. So that was like my thing. I think that's like the biggest trigger for me, is somebody who like just is always negative about something. I think that's a big trigger for me. So, you know, let me not even get into that, because I'll fucking throw this mic at the camera fucking now. I'm getting triggered talking about it now. I'm
more of a story, bitch, I don't need your money.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes all money is not good money.
No.
So, like, that's a thing too. And then just like wherever you're spending money, just like look into that.
For sure.
But you know, again, the type of service providers that talk like that, they're gonna find a clientele for them too, because they're gonna find clienteles that love to talk just like them. So like the ones that draw to them more are the ones that are gonna like
but
them.
In that instance of that person talking about other people's bodies, she's not just telling that to anyone. So clients are not gonna ever know about that.
True.
Unless someone outly says it, which we are, but no one knows what we're talking about.
Yeah. Be careful who you have as a service provider. That's all I say. Again, they're always going to attract the ones that are like them. So the ones that love them so much, yeah, y'all are the same.
Like my clients, they love to sleep.
Yeah. So like, same.
Yeah.
So anyways, enough about them. Oh, I want to go into probably the one that I fired.
Yeah.
The one I fired recently.
Yeah.
I was like, mind you, this is somebody I've been doing for 4 or 5 years. Like for hair, lashes, whatever. I've been doing her for about 4 or 5 years. And I considered her a friend, like not like somebody I had dinner with and like hung out, our kids hung out, like not that, but she was cool. Like I had her for a very long time. She was a good client, for a very long time, very punctual, but I don't know, the last couple years have been really off. And, you know, I don't know what it is. There was times where she overslept and didn't make it to her appointment. So that's, you would call that a no show, right? She would text me back like 3 hours later and be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I just woke up, can I still come? Like, as if I don't have clients the rest of the day and you could just come because I've been sitting here waiting for you. And so like, mind you, she's done that probably 3-4 times already.
This is what I meant in the last episode where I'm like, you know, Mary will wait an hour. I wait 10.
Yeah, I will wait hours. But even then I'm just like, oh, fine, like it's cool. Like I'll just get you in another time, because again, she was like somebody I was cool with. And so it happened a couple times and I was just like, I know she was going through a phase of like going out and stuff, but again, I go out, but if I have an appointment, I'm gonna make it.
It's work.
And to me, if I do that, I'm gonna pay the person the whole amount of what they would have got if I didn't show up. She never once, mind you, she never once offered as a friend to like pay me whatever I was missing out on. Anytime I cancel on somebody last minute, I'm gonna pay them the full amount plus tip. Like I've just always been that way. I don't think I've done that to you, but that's different. I was like,
no, but you be overpaying sometimes.
Yeah, too. But you know, so like that's what I do. I think I've had to cancel on somebody like I think once, I remember for my toes, I had to cancel because I couldn't get the acrylic off, and I just paid for the full pedicure anyways. But anyways, never once did she offer to pay for all the times she had to, like, all the times she no-showed me. And then
even if she would have offered, you probably would have been,
I would have taken it, but
but it's just the thought that counts.
Yes, like, to me, I'm just like, at least she thought about paying me, you know?
Yeah.
And then she went through a whole phase of, like, canceling last minute, because she would, like, book her appointments ahead of time, and then the day before be like, I can't, I have to work. So then she had to do that so many times.
Because she has to work, she has to miss out on work.
Yeah, it's just like, don't book out ahead of time. If you don't know your schedule, and they give you the schedule the week before, whatever the case is.
It's common sense.
So I had to just be like, no, we're not going to book you that way anymore. We're not going to book multiple out. Because she was just like, I just want to stay on your books, so I'm on the books. And I'm like, no, because you keep canceling last minute. So what I'm going to do is have you contact me, you know, when you get your schedule, and then figure out your day off, and then we'll book it there. I'll find time, like me, I'll find time to get you in, girl, don't you worry. And so that's what I did. So that's what I had to do, is put her on like okay, message me the week of, like, don't be booking out. And so that's what we had to do. So then we deal with that issue. Now the next issue, which she started becoming very late, you know, like, and I'm not talking about like 10 minutes late. I'm talking like 50 minutes late. Yes, you heard right. 50. Not 15.
You guys, when she told me, I was like,
yeah. Or like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Like, that's too much. Like, to me, I'm just like, I'm okay with like waiting. But I think this last time was my
breaking point.
My breaking point, because I'm like, 5 years, girl, of being like taken advantage or disrespected in a sense of like, whatever. And okay, so I had work since 6:30 in the morning, and it's 7 p.m. The time of her appointment is 7 p.m.
Oh my god, I didn't know it was that late. You didn't tell me the time.
Yes.
You told me overtime, but I didn't know that overtime.
No,
she did overtime.
No, the overtime was hair, because when she was 50 minutes late, she was booked for a hair color and a haircut. So I think in her mind she thought, oh, well, I'm still getting in a haircut, because now I had other clients after her. So like, I'm like, girl, I don't have time to do you like that. 50 minutes, that was your color application and like wash or something. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have time to do. She's like, I'll just do a haircut if you don't have time. Okay, so how would you like it if you went in for overtime and you're only getting paid for that? Like, so now I have to miss out on the color money because you came in late and I can only do your haircut. So I don't think people realize that. They think, oh, because they showed up that it's okay. And she also seems like the type that's like, oh, because she has an excuse that the excuse is okay. I'm just like, no, because it's time management. If you know you have an appointment at this time, be there on time.
When she would tell you she was like on Mooney, and you'd be like, okay, but where?
Yeah, like, but how far is that? You know how this street, it's like busy.
It literally runs through Tulare and Vice.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, like in the other city on Mooney, or like my city, you know? So anyway, she's like, at 7 p.m., the time of her appointment, she's like, going. And I was like, okay, going where? And I was like, she's like, oh, I'm on my way to the appointment.
You're like, oh, so you're not here yet. Oh, so you're not parked outside.
No. So all I said was like, girl. And she's like, oh, it's because it's really busy. There's so much traffic here, it's really busy here. Okay, so when I say, so then I was like, when your appointment's at 7, that means be here on 7, not leave where you're at 7. You know what she said? She said, girl, I've been here since 6. Okay, bitch. Even worse, because you had an hour to get to my house after being in town. Oh, but the stores were really busy, and then like it was really crowded. Okay, so then I was like, if that was me, I would have put my shit down and come back after my appointment, because I don't want to be late for my appointment. So I was just like, that's what I would have done, because time management. Again, time management. I was like, I think you should be more considerate of my time. Like, I understand we're friends, but you should be more considerate of my time. And you know, her response was, girl, I've had to wait for you too.
Triggered.
I was like,
you're like, am I seeing right? Hold on, do I have my glasses on?
I'm like, don't look at my broken case.
Do I need an eye wash?
Yeah.
Real quick? Like,
I'm like, all I saw was red, bitch. I was like, I'm about to throw my damn phone. Or else gonna be like, what the fuck is getting into you? Like, my anger issues, I'm like trying to be better, but I was just like, I know you are not flipping it on me. Send. And she's like, but I'm not flipping it on you. I'm just letting you know, like, I've had to wait on you too. Okay. But the ratio between you having to wait on me
in the past 5 years,
and in the past 5 years, the amount of time she's ever had to wait for me, and not wait for me because I'm shopping or I forgot I had to do her or anything like that. It was her waiting for me to finish up on a client.
Yeah.
Probably 2-3 times out of the 5 years. All my clients know I rarely do I ever reschedule. I'm always at work. If I'm working, I'm working. Unless emergency or like something comes up or a last minute trip, rarely does that ever happen because I'm pretty good with work. Work is always like priority for me. And so, you know, I was like, the ratio's not even the same. I was like, you can't even compare the two. I was just like, the amount of no-shows, cancellations, last minute cancellations, late, that's not, no. I've never not showed up for you at work where you had to sit there for hours and wonder where I'm at. You know, I'm always like at work. So that was very triggering for me when she said that. And she's just like, well, I'm a block away. She's like, but we could cancel if you want to. And I was like, you know what? I was actually going to still do it, but I was just explaining to you, like, to be more considerate of my time. But because you want to flip it, I'm going to cancel you. Because I'm mad. Like, I was I'm like...
The disrespect.
Yeah, I was just like... So everything that I've ever done for you to accommodate you and your schedule and your excuses or whatever, it didn't matter to you because now you're holding the few times you had to wait for me over all the times you've no-showed me, canceled, whatever. That went out the window. So it's like you almost didn't appreciate any of what I've done for you, and you're gonna hold on to you having to wait for me a couple times over you just doing, like, that was just like triggering for me. And I was like, I haven't responded. I did get an apology yesterday. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do yet because, like,
did you read it? She just read the first 2 lines.
Yeah, I didn't open it. Maybe next month I'll open it. We'll see.
Maybe.
Just to see what she has to say. But other than that, like, to me, it's, again, like, it's once you get me to that point, it's so hard to, like...
I think at that point, her level of her feeling entitlement was sky high.
And that's why...
to respond to you that way, she had to feel...
Very comfortable.
No, she had to feel like she was the fucking... ruler of the earth.
Yeah, I'm like, you didn't pay me no rescheduling fee. You never paid me no cancellation fee.
You never offered.
You never offered nothing with a no-show. Like, you should have paid me the appointment you missed every time you no-showed me, and when you came in for an actual fill. Like, that to me was like, what the F? Because I was so...
That made you realize how you stand in her life, or where you stand in her life.
Like, to me, every little thing I did for her to accommodate her, just like, it didn't matter. It didn't matter at this moment because...
She knew she had you at the tip of her finger.
And she was just, no, she was like... She didn't care. It just didn't matter to her. Like, it was.
She knew she could get away with anything.
That's why she didn't put her shit down at the store, and she decided to pay because she's like, she'll wait for me. She'll be fine. Because I have an excuse. I was the store was busy.
Yeah, I was shopping.
No, not today, bitch. I was fucking mad. I was just like, I've been up since 3:30 because I even gymmed before the 6:30 appointment. So that's why, to me, I'm just like, I've had a very long day, and to work later than I need to accommodate you, right? And you're still gonna be late. I didn't have clients after her.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, she was my last one, but even then, I'm having to work later than I need to because you showed up late. Like, sometimes, again, it goes back to, like, sometimes money isn't always, like... No, like,
her money definitely, because she
think
didn't
about
consider,
think about
like,
the amount of
times.
Yes, all the last minute cancellations of the day before because you had to work. It's like, did you just get your schedule right now at this moment, or you got it Sunday? Because now it's all I can't even speak because I'm so fucking triggered. I'm stuttering. No, because I was just like, all the times that you do last minute cancellations, it's like it's hard to fill in those appointments when it's last minute, because now the people that would like to get in with you, they also have a schedule. So like, I think that's why it's very hard, unless you have somebody that has like an open schedule, you know, or someone that's like a little more available and don't have like a 9 to 5, you know. So yeah, and that was my most recent. Other than that, those are probably the only 2 breakups I had with clients. Like, it's rare that I ever have to like do that. Like, either some clients take breaks, they don't, you know, they found somebody new, whatever, and that is okay too. Like, but where I had to like be like, all right, this is enough for me. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That is my story.
And if it wasn't for this podcast, we wouldn't even talk about this.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, it would probably just be with us two. Like, we wouldn't have talked about it if it wasn't
like no one would have known. So, like, I think this helps for people that, like, ever have to go through this or, like, have to endure, like, bad clients.
It's hard. It's hard to be professional and set boundaries too, because I want to go off. And I wish I could fight people without having a bad reputation. Because if I go and like fight somebody, one, I'll end up in jail, and then it's like my kids, and then I can't work. So like, I have to like take into certain things
your actions. You have to
yes, I have to be like, no, I can't punch her in the face if I see her, because I will be in jail. I'll be like, oh, but I have bail money. You'll still be in jail. Because I think sometimes I don't know what my capabilities are when I'm angry.
Yeah, I think I've only seen you really mad like twice.
But even then, if I'm mad, but I'm like laughing at the same time. Like, I'm mad, but I'm like laughing at the same time. But I think the laughing. But I
feel like those two times were issues. Not issues. They were moments where you could lash out.
Maybe
because of the anger that
the built up. Yeah. And I'm just like, who knows how I'll be. It takes a lot for me to get there.
But I feel like you know how to zen out.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like go work out, or I like do something that's gonna like make me happy.
Yeah. Like you could react so many different ways, but I feel like the way that you react is very like
classy.
Yeah.
I keep it pretty classy.
But I think that's the best way that you could react, because that's the biggest
because some people
slap in the face for the other person.
I think some people want to see you get out of character. And you know, I've been getting out of character, but alone.
Yeah.
Like, With myself. Or like everybody in this house.
Yeah.
Because, you know, they gotta hear it.
Yeah.
And everybody else. So people know, like, to leave me alone.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part. But no.
Wait, we didn't talk about this.
We can.
But what was that?
Because it was basically regarding like sharing clients. There's some people that end up people are like, oh, I see this all the time. These girls that are lash artists that, oh, there's enough money for it to go around. No hate or animosity towards any other lash artist. It's like, that's funny, because you blocked my client that started coming to me, but you blocked her. Liar. You're a liar. So that's why I'm just like, how are people mad? You know, I had a girl come to me, the sweetest person ever.
She's so nice.
She's the nicest.
I've never met her. Oh no, I have met her. I met her once.
She's so nice. So freaking nice. No, mind you, she just came to me for a haircut. She goes to somebody else for color. Now, she goes to somebody else for color, and you know, she let her know like, oh, you know, I have a haircut this day. So the hairdresser knew she had a haircut with somebody else. So whatever. That came, she got a haircut, and you know, and that's okay. Like, some people specialize in haircuts, some people are very good at color. You know, like, even with me and my best friend Juan, sometimes I refer people to him because, you know, I was like, hey, he could handle that, I can't. Like, he does well with that, I can't. Like, we're the same. Like, it doesn't matter, like, for anybody. Or sometimes, like, if I know certain people are better with like bleach or whatever than I am, I have no problem.
Or color, like bright colors.
Yes, like color, like the pastels or like the mermaid hair and stuff. Like, I'm like, I don't do that, but I know somebody who does. Yeah. So she came to me because she did ask her hairdresser to do this cut that she wanted, and everyone knows layers are my thing. So like, she goes and asks her stylist to do that. It wasn't what she wanted, wasn't bad. It just wasn't what she wanted. She saw I did the haircut, started coming to me for the haircut. And after her, I don't know what's going on, but after she came for the haircut, the hairdresser just never got back to her. Like, never booked an appointment. But mind you, she's posting her availability, but she's not answering her message to get her in. So I think like that is like crazy to me that you would be upset like that. It's like she's still wanting to support you in another way, like, right. So it's just like I wouldn't be mad, like, hey, if you have to go to somebody else for that, that's cool. It's not like I was doing her color. I wasn't, you know. So I just thought that was weird. Kind of like
jealousy.
Yeah, it's just like, why be mad at what, you know, as sharing clients? It's like we're all here, like, it's like practice what you preach. If you want to say things like, oh, you wouldn't be mad, or there's enough money for everyone, okay,
especially if you're going to be someone that you're going to start coming off as a person for other people to look up to as an instructor.
Yeah,
you know, you shouldn't carry yourself that way.
I have some people be like mad if someone left them for their student. It's just like, we train them.
Yeah, but you know how you said that she was in like start doing classes too.
Oh yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like you shouldn't be that type of person if you're gonna be an instructor.
That's why I've said too. I think I said it in our very first podcast. Basically, building relationships with people in the industry, because I'm just like, you never know when you would want them as like a consumer of some sort, right? You know, I just think like having good relationships will help you grow, because the first person that you'll kind of like have as a clientele or whatever, like for me and my lash products, I love my locals. So like, however I could like support them. And if anyone says, oh, Mary doesn't support people, liar. Maybe unless it's like I don't see your feed or something, like that's the only time I'm not really like truly supporting. If I don't like, if they're not on my feed, sometimes you guys, I really don't look at my feed,
and it's hard too.
It's hard to keep up, and our feeds aren't our Instagram feed's not the same. I was like, I don't care about these people I don't follow.
Literally,
like, I want to see all these people I follow. I don't care about suggested following. I don't want to follow any more people besides the people I know here. Like, I like to just keep it here. Yeah, but that's crazy. That's basically like our tea.
This should have been the beauty industry tea /
hot takes.
Yeah, that question.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, but let us know if you guys have any experience with any similar, I guess, like any similar stories, like similar to ours. But yeah, I know.
Like, don't leave it on a comment if you don't want people to know.
Yeah, like, you can always like send it in on a whatever, on a, what do you call it, like a like the
anonymous, like
the
Google
Forms or whatever, if you want to talk about your experience, and we could always talk about it during hot takes. Maybe we could have a different segment called hot takes.
Yeah, we do on we have a form on Google.
Oh, okay. Well, we have a form. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, so if you guys want to send your experience and your stories with us,
we can share it.
Send them away. Yes. But yeah, that is it for today's episode. We will see you guys next time. Bye.